Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out 2-sentence horror. Story 1. As you wish, the genie said, looking confused. I smiled, thinking of all the non-indigenous species that would soon be restricted to their native habitats and no longer be considered invasive, damaging, delicate. Story 2. I finally got the surgery to restore my vision after being blind for most of my life. I came home to find hundreds of cameras in my house. Story 3. He sat down in front of his computer on his first day of work at Facebook, where he got hired on as a content moderator. As he began looking through the grotesque and illegal images and videos, he realized with a sense of revulsion and horror that he was incredibly aroused by the filth before him. Story 4. Working with cows on the farm is pretty cool. Gotta push the cows out to the pasture with a four-wheeler. Until I have to do it in the dark, but the four-wheeler suddenly breaks down, and I hear something start running towards my direction. Story 5. It's funny, I remember my biological mom breastfeeding me in the hospital despite it being so long ago. I remarked to my adopted father, "You do know that your real mom died during childbirth, right?" He responded. Story 6. Jimmy Savile pulls up to a kindergarten and the teacher asks him, "Which kid is yours?" "I haven't decided yet," Jimmy replies. Story 7. As I slowly opened my eyes, the nurse told me my weight loss surgery was a success. In fact, I was already down 30 pounds. Where the fuck are my legs? Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 8. My sister cried and begged my brother for protection as my father shouted her name in the middle of the night. He immediately called our parents to come home as soon as they can. Story 9. The radio played a soothing lullaby as I fell asleep. When I woke up, I realized the radio had been unplugged all night. Story 10. Use this gun in case you see the monster. The bullet will kill you quickly and less painfully. Story 11. There are maggots in the food. Don't question it. Just eat them. The masters must be rewarding us with extra protein for making quota. Story 12. Watching the pale pretty girl get stoned was the sexiest thing I'd ever seen. He hits she took would have literally killed me. When it was finally my turn, I threw my rock as hard as I could, and when it smashed into her teeth, the sickening crunch was thrilling beyond description. Story 13. It's very important that we do this right. Brakes are very important, my father said as he cut the brake lines in my mother's car. Story 14. If you were a better mother, she wouldn't have come to me for some blow. If I was a better mother, her body wouldn't be rotting the same as yours. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 15. DEC23. I thought I was seeing double when the news on TV showed the Statue of Liberty having two heads. Then I felt a sharp pain around my shoulder and neck, then something bulbous bursting out of it. Story 16. When we walked into her room, she asked me, "So what is the name of the planet you discovered?" As I took off my skin, her ears registered the last words she would ever hear, Earth. Story 17. Don't you recognize your mommy? The primatologist asked. But his terrified son stayed cowering in the corner, unable to even look at the chimp wearing his slain mother's face as a grotesque flesh mask. Story 18. I am a magician who can make razor blades appear in the strangest places. I didn't believe this strange man until I felt a sharp pain inside my lung. Story 19. Doing drugs is a sin. I'm a godchild. I will never do drugs, he said, as he threw hemgenics, which costed our house and 2 loans to buy. Story 20. As she pushed herself to the limits on the treadmill, she noticed the man beside her mirroring every move, matching her speed and intensity. It wasn't until she glanced at his reflection in the mirror that she realized he was a figment of her imagination, a chilling manifestation of her own obsession with perfection. Story 21. The salesman seemed a little nervous when he handed the revolver to me over the display case. "This will do," I said, "but tell me again why I have to buy the whole box of ammo?" Story 22. As a retired war veteran, he thought that living a normal life with a steady job would help him. However, his visions of twisted and morphing faces, and exploding bodies, of friends that he now called strangers, became a warning towards his slow descent into a never-ending madness. Story 23. The surgery was a success, my husband whispered as he slowly removed the bandages from my face. In the mirror, my sister-in-law's face came into focus, and I realized then that he loved her more than me. Story 24. My father picked me up to go get his twin brother from prison on his release day. Midway through the trip I got a message from my dad, "We agreed to meet an hour ago, where the hell are you?" Story 25. The terrified face looked up at me pleading silently to be freed. Oh, so that's the difference between vivisection and dissection, I thought to myself. Story 26. Let's get out of this place. Wait, what happened to the door? Story 27. My girlfriend and I were the perfect match. If I keep this up, I'll have 2 new lungs by Friday. Story 28. The episode was over. And now I realize that it was not a demon, but my brother, now lying dead beside me. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 29. I told my girlfriend that she looks perfect just like she is and that there's no need to change a thing. The doctors are saying that she's now dangerously underweight and that her disorder is going to kill her if she doesn't change, but what do they know about true beauty? Story 30. We must let nature run its course, we cannot interfere, said the safari guide. There was nothing I could do, except watch my infant daughter be dragged away by the lions. Story 31. I'm not afraid of what goes bump in the night. It's a lot scarier when they're quiet. Story 32. I kept texting and carrying on the conversation with the geek kid at our school on my phone. I needed more time to think of a plan to get out as he didn't know I saw his face at the window. Story 33. DEC 23 in the early morning, a big snowman was blocking the road ahead. Doubling my speed, the snowman splattered on my windscreen as a child's scream was silenced with a thud under my wheel. Story 34. As our ship tumbled and rolled through the raging sea, we could only hang on for dear life and pray we wouldn't die. And we didn't die, for as we were dragged beneath the waves by an angry sea, her God gave us eternal life as her thralls, living corpses riding the waves of storms, seeking more servants to enlist to her eternal service. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 35. I've been married to this man for 6 years. He has yet to notice I don't sleep. Story 36. Move over, the girl said to the strange man holding a knife under her bed. As she hid under the bed, she heard her father's footsteps coming into her room. Sweetie, I just want to talk to you about your report card. Story 37. Emma witnessed a falling star and was told she could make a wish. The next day everyone mourned Jake in 3rd grade. Story 38. I looked into my sweet baby's eyes, grateful for our brief 10 minutes of skin-to-skin. When her parents came running through the doors and scooped her away without saying a word, I finally realized that I'd never see her again. Story 39. Doors shut and flooded by relief, I realized I could hear a low whining raising the hairs on the back of my neck, feeling hot fetid breath on the side of my face. I turned, realizing I was not alone in the elevator after all. Be the first to comment. Nobody's responded to this post yet. Add your thoughts and get the conversation going. Story 40. A feline face with orange eyes stared down at me from my pillow as I slept, and I thought nothing of it. But then I realized I only have 3 cats, and they were all staring at me from the doorway. Story 41. I told my wife that I wanted to be cremated. As the smoke fills the box, I realize that I should have specified after I die. Story 42. How many eggs would you like, she asked with a smile. As many as you can lay, I replied, prying open my ribcage for the spider queen. Story 43. DEC 23. My gambling debt has doubled in the last year, but luckily my wife is due any day now. Story 44. Through the windstorm on the battlefield I saw soldiers killing one another, some crying, others just frozen in fear. I find my sergeant to ask what the orders are and he says nothing. The war is over as he watches the mushroom cloud rise overhead, illuminating a red glow throughout the battlefield. Story 45. My son came to me sobbing that there was someone under his bed. That's when I realized, with mounting horror, that I had forgotten to move the body. Story 46. At first I thought my friend was having just a regular coughing fit. That was until I saw the thick, black blood start spraying out of his mouth. Story 47. What the person that broke into my apartment doesn't know is that I can see them through the slight gap in the bathroom door frame. What I don't know is what I will do when the person realizes the lock on my bathroom door is broken. Story 48. Night after night I clutched her cold and rigid body as I yearned for respite from my harrowing dreams. Her porcelain eyes locked onto mine before she blinked, her lifeless lips forming a chilling smile. Story 49. Thank God I have the collision on camera. Nobody would believe me. The idiot in the van just backed into me on a completely empty street. What kind of a stupid driver drives a van that has no license plate, has darkened windows and a cracked windshield? Story 50. As I finish telling my friend about my trauma surrounding the sexual assaults I experienced, he comforts me. I instantly get terrified and feel the hairs on my arm rise up when I realize he's giving me the exact look as he did. Story 51. A crack in time is serious to some. But it's a far cry from cracking your mom's back. Story 52. The coroner saw his pinky wiggling and he instantly knew the man was paralyzed, not dead. He smiled faintly as he pulled out his embalming tools, muttering, "Well dang if it isn't the man who's been banging my wife." Story 53. What they don't tell you about toothpaste is it's mildly abrasive. That doesn't matter in the course of a human lifetime, but as a 500-year-old vampire with good hygiene, I've worn down my last tooth and I'm starving. Story 54. Doctor, this rash has been driving me insane. I've been checking on Google and I'm starting to think it may be the chicken pox. The doctor nodded before scribbling on his notepad page. Psych. PT is complaining of invisible rash. Story 55. CPAP machines may accumulate bacteria without proper maintenance, but the chances of that killing you are slim, said the ER doctor. Saddened by her husband's hospitalization, she picked up the CPAP machine and smashed it on the ground, exposing a nest of dead baby mice. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.